Hello friends, did you miss me while I was extremely ill? Ugh. Um, I have been, when I've been doing fortnightly videos, when I've been away or whatever, I have been doing two separate videos, but to be honest, I just don't have time to do that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to real quick run through things that I talk about all the time and then spend a little bit longer on things that I haven't necessarily talked about for a while. So I had norovirus, and therefore on the day I was normally going to be making my video, I just felt absolutely dreadful. So let's start with the thing I was wearing on the day when I first came down with the symptoms. So I was wearing a Burberry Brit EDT. Now, I'm going to sniff this now and see how I feel about it, because I'm really hoping... Yeah, it's fine. Luckily for me, the symptoms didn't really come on properly until the evening, and I didn't start throwing up until like maybe 2 in the morning. So by that time I couldn't smell this on me anymore, so thank God, because I swear to God, if this had been ruined by some poxy norovirus, I'd have been so gutted, because I love Burberry Brit. As you can see, I've not got much left. So this is Burberry Brit EDT. I'm just going to give you the notes real quick, because I talk about this all the time. We don't need to stay on it. So it's green, almond, lime, pear and lemongrass in the top, almond, sugar and peony in the mid, and then the vanilla, mahogany and amber in the base. It's basically like a tangy, limey pear and almond vanilla. It's just so delicious, with a nice bitterness from that lemongrass, a slightly medicinal smell. I mean, weather in the UK, we had another heat wave, so we had a 37-degree day, which was... I mean, almost unbearable, but then weirdly the day after, which I think was more like 33 or something, I think because of that residual heat building up, that was by far the worst day. It was like hideous. We all felt dreadful. So I've worn green tea quite a lot. I mean, because I'd had norovirus, that day after I'd started throwing up, I think it's the first day in years that I haven't worn a perfume, because even sometimes if I manage to forget to wear a perfume on my way to work, I have perfumes at work, I have little samples in my bag, so I've always got something I could put on. But that day there was like nothing. I almost entirely slept. But as soon as I was like feeling well enough to wear perfume again, it was green tea, because I find this to be one of the easiest things in my collection. It smells really nice on me. It's really calming, soothing. Again, you know what it is. I wear it all the time. Lemon, bergamot, mint, orange, rhubarb in the top, jasmine, musk, oak moss, fennel, carnation, white amber in the mid, and then base green tea, jasmine, musk, oak moss, celery seeds, caraway, cloves and amber. I could really smell the fennel this week. I was really picking it up. Let's see, what else did I wear? I wore this again. I really should have thought to put this in my late summer sweet perfumes, because this is so good in hot weather. Seductive Red. I wear this one quite a lot. I think it's totally lovely. Let me just see if I can... Is that going to brighten up a bit? Might just be a bit dark. So Seductive Red, it's basically a really approachable version of Baccarat Rouge 540. So cherry, almond and pink pepper in the top, cherry blossom, violet, magnolia in the mid, base, vanilla, tonka bean and sandalwood. I love it. I love how this smells. It smells really good on me. It lasts on me actually quite well. And I can't get enough actually. I just really love how this smells. And I understand why people get so obsessed with Baccarat Rouge, but I feel like this, because this has that like slightly tangy fruitiness to it, it takes it into a slightly different direction, but it's still recognisably that profile. I also wore Lolita Lempicka Fleur Defendu, which is just heaven in a bottle. My favourite of all the Lolita Lempickas, I'm pretty sure. This is mimosa, wormwood, strawberry leaf and stem greens in the top. Mid notes of violet, anise, peony and iris. Base notes almond, cherry and musk. It's just a soft orchard spring-like version, mimosa full version of the original Lolita Lempicka, maybe a bit closer to the ETT, but I love it so much, and I don't need to talk about it much because you guys know all about it. Now let's start with something that's new to my collection, not, to be honest, one that I need to keep, but I got it because a lovely subscriber, well, I assume it was a subscriber, it might have just been a lovely person who happened to watch that video, but someone told me, I'm sorry I can't remember your name, I'm afraid, but someone told me about this. Guess Seductive Desire. So this is I think maybe the newest in the Guess Seductive range. They've had a few come out that I haven't had the opportunity to smell, because when I've looked at what they've been compared to, they're not really things that I'm that interested in, because I do feel like the Seductive range seems to be at least inspired by other things. They don't really smell like original creations, none of the ones I've smelled anyway. So this is Guess Seductive Desire, probably covered in fingerprints because it is this kind of very intense gold. This, my loves, this is Burberry Goddess. I'm just trying to think. So I wore this for the whole day, and it was a very similar experience to wearing both Goddess and Angham. How are we going to get this so it doesn't absolutely blind you? But I hope that's all right. I've got to have it at a real weird angle here. So the notes, though, what does it say in the notes? And do they make... Yeah, I mean, the notes are very intriguing. So it says top notes: mandarin pear, apricot melon, and aquatic notes and marine notes. These don't feel like the right notes to me for this perfume, but anyway. Middle notes: osmanthus, jasmine and cypress. Base notes: rose, vanilla, amber, pepper, musk and amberwood. This doesn't smell like those notes, to the point where I'm looking at this and being like, seriously? I'm actually going to do a quick search. I mean, yeah, that's what it says on the actual Guess website, and it makes zero sense because it is basically Burberry Goddess. It smells like vanilla. It smells like ginger. It has got a fruity quality to it, but like more of mandarin. I'm not getting melon, pear, and apricot from this at all. There is something slightly floral about it. It's like warm, spicy vanilla, basically. And the votes are like osmanthus, rose, and mandarin. This is just fascinating to me because it's Burberry Goddess. That's what it smells like. Now, personally, I prefer Angham still, and I still prefer the original Burberry Goddess to this one. And it's not for any specific reason other than this just doesn't smell quite as pretty on my skin as those do. And Angham in particular, when I compare it, has kind of a warmer, fluffier base than this one. This feels a little bit crisper to me. But for all purposes, this is just Burberry Goddess. So if you want an affordable version of Burberry Goddess, but you don't want to get the Latafia, then I think Guess Seductive Desire is a great option. And like I said, because the person who was talking about it in my comments said that this is like a much nicer version of Burberry Goddess for them. So I think it might be, again, like how it reacts to your skin. I think just smelling this on paper, I'm like, it's Burberry Goddess. And on my skin, I'm like, it's Burberry Goddess, but it's maybe the vanilla's not quite as good as Burberry Goddess, but that's on my skin. And definitely it doesn't have the same kind of warm, slightly sweeter, slightly woody base that I get from the Latafia Angham. So, I mean, it's good. It's not one I need to keep at all, but I really wanted to test it out. I don't know why I got such a big bottle. I should have got a 30ml, but I got it on a deal on Makeup UK, which is probably why I ended up with the biggest size. But you know, that's just how I roll. Sometimes I forget myself, and I forget that I've got such a big collection. I don't need a big bottle. So then I also wore this, which I find almost like meditative. This perfume, I find it so beautiful and natural smelling. I love it. This is Avgoustos from Korres. I just think this is... I really like a lot of Korres perfumes, to be honest, but for sure, Kimya, I think it's called, or Kima, that is an excellent alternative to CK2. It's got that exact kind of water feel to it, that lovely petrichor feel to it. Avgoustos is just a fantastic, for me, it's like fig and orange blossom in the main, this one. And then Sikanos, which is a floral sort of body lotiony watermelon heaven. It's a bit salty and really, really good. But Avgoustos, I was interested in this one as well because my husband smelt this. If you watched our last video together, he was really not digging this. He said it smelt like green peppers or something like that. Like vegetables. Which, I mean, I sort of get it. This is a very green fig, but it definitely dries down to be something much more beautiful than that. So I got him to sniff me when I was wearing it, And he was like, it's not my favourite, but it's nice. And I was like, does it smell like vegetables? He was like, no. I said, good. Okay. So on paper, maybe this one is very, very green. Smells a little bit vegetably, vegetal. But on skin, I think this turns into something really rather wonderful. So the notes in Avgoustos are bergamot, lavender and mandarin orange in the top, mid notes of fig, lemon tree and orange blossom, base notes musk, ambergris and cedar. And so again, it's got this slight hint of something salty from that ambergris, which I think balances this so beautifully. The lavender is probably why I'm finding this a little bit meditative, like kind of soothing. I get a really strong fig, like Philosophus level strength green fig when this opens, and you get the greenness from the lemon tree, and then the orange blossom starts to come through in a kind of creamy, slightly body lotiony, but not too much, like a slightly soapy, but not at all harsh orange blossom. And it dries down to be fig and orange blossom is essentially what I'm getting from this. I just really like this perfume. It smells like a holiday. It smells like a beautiful Greek holiday, and I love it. So yeah, I was very happy wearing that one. I find it very, very soothing and really easygoing. What are we putting up next on here? All right, let's go for this guy. So I wore this because I was sort of doing a bit of a comparison to the other thing that I wore, but I'll talk about this one first. This is Verveine Thé Blanc from Jean en Provence, and this is a lovely, very green verbena and white tea perfume. So it's super fresh, it's really pretty, really nice. This is like a greener and more lemony take on something like green tea. It's not quite as herbal as green tea is. It's not as spa-like. It's a little bit crisper, but it's very, very good, this perfume, and it's so affordable. So this is citrus, geranium and lemon in the top, mid notes of verbena, white tea and tangerine, base notes petitgrain, bitter orange and lemon tree. Now, sometimes I struggle with verbena, sometimes I find it a bit overpowering. It's not in this, it's really balanced with that tea, like it's a really nice tea note. It's got lemon tree in it as well, like I'm all about the lemon tree apparently at the moment. And sometimes petitgrain is too green for me, but this balanced out so nicely. It dries down so beautifully. This is a really excellent summer perfume. I really enjoyed wearing this one. So the thing that I put this on, because I was sort of doing a bit of a comparison really. Let me just find the notes before I start up. So I have this bottle of a very beautiful perfume. Lovely. Christalle Eau Verte. From Chanel. So an expensive perfume, but a very nice, very ladylike, excellent summer perfume. But it doesn't really last very long. So I had this on throughout the day, and then later on, once I was like, it's completely worn off and it's like so light, I decided to try this one out just because I was doing a bit of a comparison. They don't smell the same, but they're definitely the same mood for me. These two, like this particular one, I think this is an EDT. Let me see if I can actually see what this says on the bottom. Oh no, this is the eau de parfum. Okay. It really doesn't last. Oh, it's so pretty though. And it does, to me, smell like a tea perfume. Like it hasn't got tea in it, or it's not listed anyway. But it has that vibe of like a tea perfume that has a lot of green and citrus notes in it. All this says is citruses, green notes, jasmine and magnolia. I think the magnolia comes through in a really soft, pretty way the longer this is on the skin. But I'm just going to look at the other Christalle Eau Verte. Maybe this is the Eau de Toilette. Let me look at it. Or maybe it's just the older version of it. 2009. So maybe this is just the newer version, but I want to see if there's a more expansive. Okay, so that one says Amalfi, lemon, bergamot, neroli, magnolia, base notes, jasmine, iris and musk. And it could be all of those things. It could be everything. Do you know what I mean? I think probably that makes more sense. The iris and the musk are probably things that I feel come through when this dries down that gives this a lovely kind of soothing feel. It's really beautiful. It's really lovely. It really doesn't last very long. So whether it's worth the money when you can get something like, for instance, actual green tea, which I think is also bloody gorgeous, and you can get it for like a tenner for 100ml. So you have to basically put this on just as much and use it as often as you would with something like green tea or with this. But this one lasts longer. the Verte Blanc lasted considerably longer. I could smell it on me all night. So, I mean, they're both really beautiful, but one of them costs about £15 and one of them is like 100 and something. So, do you know what I'm saying? All right, let's talk about... What else did I wear? Tall things. Oh, yes, more tall things. So let's go for this one because I said this last time I wore it. It needs hot weather for me, this perfume, like actual hot weather. And my God, it's so good in hot weather. See, I'm sniffing this now and it smells good, but it smells a little bit too soapy when it's a little bit cooler. But when it's actually hot, my God. Oh, Mambo. Mambo from Liz Claiborne. Just an absolute beauty. A real hidden gem. Like, it's so, so good in this hot weather. I loved every moment of wearing this. It has a slightly... As much as I don't like using the word, but I feel like if we're being descriptive and prescriptive about perfumery, it has a slightly mature feel, even though it's quite tropical. So it's not tropical in the way that like an Escada perfume, if I said that was tropical, you can assume it's going to smell like some kind of like fruity cocktail. This is not that. This is still very floral and it's so, so pretty. My husband really likes this one. It's a very grown up, fun tropical perfume, if you see what I mean. You know, you'd be wearing this on a cruise rather than in a club. That's what I'm kind of thinking, although I would totally wear it to a club. So the notes in Mambo: mango, ylang ylang and mandarin orange in the top, orange blossom, ginger and hibiscus in the mid, base notes sandalwood, musk and vanilla. There is a fantastic combination here of the mango and the orange. It has like a bright, zingy but sweet, juicy, fruity smell to it. But there is a soapy, lotiony, almost buttery creaminess from this orange blossom and ylang together, which is so gorgeous. And then the hibiscus just has this almost like, I don't want to say berry, but it's almost like this... I don't really know how to describe it. Like, if you have had hibiscus tea, you know, it's got this kind of lovely, dry, tropical, slightly berryish taste going on, and you really get that in here. It's just this subtle, interesting little hint sitting in there with the obvious ylang and the obvious orange blossom, and then a incredibly good ginger, a really strong, juicy ginger. And I love ginger in a perfume. I just think Mambo is so delicious. Like, I really love it when it's hot weather. I could not get enough of myself wearing this. The time I wore it before, it definitely wasn't warm enough and I didn't love it as much. But yeah, this is one for actual hot weather, despite the fact that, for me, like, this has enough of a musky sandalwood vanilla in the base that it would normally be a bit too thick for me, but it just works. I feel like this is the one that replaced Miami Glow from Jennifer Lopez in my affections, just because that one was so strong and a little bit too soapy for me, like too clean soapy. This is like a softer take on that kind of thing. It still lasts quite well and it's really quite strong. It's such a good perfume. If you can get hold of it, it's such good value and it's just so lovely. And then, how am I doing for time? I think I'm doing all right. So then we have one that I wore again when I was still feeling a bit rough and I just needed something easy. I just really like this. Like, I truly wish that I could smell the perfume version of this, because you can only get this in body spray now. Island Fantasy from Britney Spears. This is a scent that really, for me, kind of smells like pineapple. I get a hint of watermelon in this, but there's something about all the fruits mixed together here that just smell like pineapple for me. So this is almost like spraying pineapple juice on myself, which I kind of love. So yeah, maybe I'm the only person who thinks that. I don't know, but that's the vibe I get from it. So it's got red berries, clementine, watermelon, mandarin and citruses in the top. The mid notes are jasmine, freesia and violet. The base notes are sugarcane and musk. So unlike the other Britneys that I have in my collection, it does not have that cupcake scent. So it doesn't have that plasticky, sweet, frosted cupcake note that I really like that, actually, in the perfumes that I do have from Britney. But although I don't think Blissful Fantasy has that, does it? I can't remember. I need to wear that again when it's sort of milder. I really like that perfume. But Island Fantasy, and especially because it's a body spray, it's just so good for when I just want to smell fresh and clean and nice, but I don't want anything strong because it's so hot. So I really enjoyed wearing this. Like I said, I get a hint of watermelon. but I don't get loads of watermelon. This smells like pineapple to me. Jungle Fantasy is the one that smells like watermelon to me. Anyway, next, let's see. What else are we talking about right now? Oh, okay. I did put this on a day where I think it was a little bit too hot for it, but I just miss wearing this perfume and I just love it. So, God, I love this perfume. I can't remember if I said, but I had a friend over a while ago and he was sniffing some of my perfumes and this was the one where he was like, oh my God, that smells so good. And my husband really loves this too. So there's something very feminine and soft and beautiful about this. This is Mediterranean from Elizabeth Arden. One of my favourite bottles, one of my favourite perfumes. It's heaven in a bottle for me. I know a lot of people don't like this. It's got a powdery quality to it while also being aquatic that's kind of strange. And it's quite sweet, but it's not vanillic, which I love. So it has a sweetness without being like an aquatic vanilla, which is something that I struggle with, that kind of thing. So this is Sicilian mandarin, plum and peach in the top, middle notes of wisteria, magnolia and orchid, base notes musk, sandalwood and amber. I love that wisteria. I love the plum in this. It's actually, I think, like a peach sorbet or something like that. And it's some special type of plum. And it mentioned, used to on the website anyway, a sea breeze. And I think you do get a sea breeze, a slightly salty note in here. It just is one of my favourites. I love it so much. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about Mediterranean. I just find it very, very special. I really love this perfume. Like, really, truly love it. A few people says it smells like Versace Pour Femme Dylan, you know, in the blue, but I don't get that at all. Okay, I've got to stop saying It's just one of those days, guys. I'm still very tired. I said it again. Oh my God, I love this. I'm actually wearing this again today, but I did wear it last week. It's another one of my safe perfumes. And again, if you can find it anywhere, even though it's discontinued, I just love this so much. Boom, Green Tea and Cherry Blossom from Jean Arthes. It is just... It's such a safe perfume for me. And I've been really fussy today. Like, today I was really struggling to pick a perfume that didn't, like, bother me in some way. And so I ended up picking this Jean Arthes, this Boom, because it's very me. I really think it smells like tea, but it's also got this delicious, bright, pink, fruity quality to it. So this is tea, lemon and pear in the top, cherry blossom, blackcurrant and rose in the mid, peach and musk in the base. I can smell every note in this that's listed. And it's all perfectly balanced, and I wouldn't necessarily pick one out over the other. I'd say maybe tea. No, that's the thing, because as soon as I look at it, I'm like, no, I really do get the rose cherry blossom combo. I definitely smell the pear. There's a lot of lemon when I first spray it. I 100% get that berry quality from the blackcurrant, but I can smell peach too. But like in a perfect way, because normally I don't like peach. This is a very watery, aquatic smelling tea, like a cold tea that's been infused with delicious fruits and a little, like you're sitting next to a rose bush or something. I love this perfume, and that's all else I'm going to say about it, because I talk about it a lot. I love it. This one's really beautiful as well. I just haven't worn this for a while, so I decided to put it out again. Probably my favourite rose for warmer weather. This is, what's it called? Jean-Charles Brosseau Fleurs d'Ombre Rose. Notes in this guy: rhubarb, tangerine, blackcurrant, apple, orange, melon, grapefruit and bergamot in the top. So it's a real fruit cocktail going on here, guys. Middle notes: rose, peach, freesia, mango and jasmine. Base notes: orris root, musk, sandalwood, vetiver and amber. Now I get rose from this, and then I get a lot of lovely, beautiful, soft fruits. That's the main thing I get here. It's like rose water kind of rose, which I love. So it's not too harsh, it's not too sharp, it doesn't smell old-fashioned. It's just a beautiful smelling, delicate pink rose with a kind of sweet and ever so slightly sugary fruit, bowl next to it. So, I get a little bit of that mango, blackcurrant for sure, maybe a little bit of the rhubarb, a little bit of the peach. But I've said it before, I'll say it again, it smells like pink jelly babies to me. Like, of kind of citrusy pink jelly baby with rose water. I just think it's gorgeous. So this is in another video that I've got coming up quite soon, so I won't go on about it too long because I'm going to finish with a sample. So I got 2 samples of this perfume from eBay, I think. I bought them, and I wore one of the samples. These are 2ml samples, and I nearly finished it. So this is, let me just show you this tiny little sample. You can see I've got a tiny dribble left. This is Mango Thai Lime from Jo Loves. So that's Jo Malone's, her current perfume company, because she sold Jo Malone, I think, when she was ill, and so then she started up one called Jo Loves. Mango Thai Lime, I mean, this is lush. I would very much like a small bottle of this. It is very expensive though, it doesn't last very long because it is, I'm not sure if it's actually a cologne. I know most of hers are, well, they used to be colognes anyway. Does it say? Doesn't say. Anyway, it's gorgeous. So the notes here, mango, lime and black pepper in the top, mid notes of mint and freesia, base notes vetiver and thyme. So the thing with this, the mango and the lime is spectacular. Like, both of those notes in here are so good, and I really love a lime perfume, but I also love a mango note, which is why I was interested. I love mint too. I was a bit nervous about the vetiver, but the vetiver isn't a problem for me. The thyme is very strong on me though. I think that is partly just because my skin really brings thyme out quite strongly. When I've got thyme in a perfume, I really notice it. But I also really like it. It stops this from just smelling like fruit. This is a beautiful perfume. If you like mango and you like lime, I think there's no way you wouldn't enjoy Mango Thai Lime. Like, it's the first thing from Jo Loves that I've actually thought I'd quite like a bottle of. Although what I'd really like is like a pen spray or something. So if I can find one, I will get a pen spray. But yeah, so it's really nice. I'm going to look at the votes here. Yeah, mango's at the top, followed by lime, followed by mint, and then vetiver, and then thyme. So for me, this would very much be, I think maybe even I'd put lime at the top, followed by mango, followed by thyme. And then I'd have mint after that. Vetiver often comes out so strongly on me, like my skin drags the vetiver from the base of a perfume and brings it right out to be like forefront. But I haven't had that issue with this one. This was just very much, I really knew I was wearing thyme. It's not like I'd rubbed actual fresh thyme on my skin. But with that delicious lime and mango combination, fantastic. Now I have a perfume from and Fragrances, that is called Frank, and that is a frankincense perfume, but it has a lot of mango and lime in there as well, so it has this same delicious tanginess to it. It's just kind of veers off in a different direction. But I feel like mango and lime is a combination I really, really, really like. I don't need a big bottle of this. It's way too expensive for how brief it is. Very similar to the Christalle Verte. It's gone quite quickly. You need to keep respraying it. For the price, doesn't make sense. It might be something that if I decide I really like it, I could ask for it for Christmas or for my birthday or something, but I'd be happy to just get like a pen spray off eBay or something if I can find one, because I don't think they do pen sprays anymore. They've got these like paintbrush things where you just like paint the perfume onto your skin. They've got those at Jo Loves, and it's that, I mean, that's even worse than a rollerball to me. Like, I just don't want that. I want something I can spray. Anyway, I've said 850,000 times in this video. I hope it's not extremely annoying. It annoys me. It might annoy you, but never mind. We are just going to get on with it. This has been my week, my fortnight, in fact. And I am now going to have a little rest because, this week, man, it got too hot. It was only just starting to cool down in the flat, and I just very stupidly had to use the oven for something and felt like I was going to die. So I'm now going to lie down on my bed in front of a fan while this uploads to YouTube and just try to chill out. Thank you so much for everyone who wished me well while I was suffering from norovirus exhaustion. I nearly swore. I was very messed up for a few days. It was hideous. It's been a very long time since I've had like that kind of bug. It was hideous. But I'm over it now. I'm just now dealing with the weather, and then I shall come back out on the other side feeling much better when we've got just a nice kind of you know, mid to low 20 degrees. That's what we need for a little bit now, and I think that's what we're heading into. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you've got any of these. Let me know if you've tried the Guess Seductive Desire. And if you also looked at the notes and couldn't make head nor tails of the fact that this smells like a vanilla and ginger perfume. Anyway, thanks again. I'll see you soon next week. All right. Bye. Bye, guys.